Hi guys, this is another video by Darklink Does Math. The content in this video is geared towards 6th grade math standards. These videos are public so that my students may access this information easily, as well as anyone else looking for math help. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do not, I hope you can find what you are looking for elsewhere. There's a lot of information out there. Be aware that I am not perfect, so there may be the occasional mistake. I apologize in advance that this should happen. So today, we're going to be going over just an example of long division and show you the steps that you would take and how to simplify fractional answers. So there are 4 major steps for long division. The first step is you want to see how many times a number will divide into a number. Second, you will multiply by that answer. Third step, you want to subtract that. And then fourth step, if there are extra numbers, you bring down. Now, without an example, that might sound confusing. So we're going to jump right to our example, which is 983 divided by 28. So first step is to divide. I want to know how many times will 28 divide into 9? It won't. It's too big. So I'm just going to place a 0 right there. And since my first number is 0, I'm going to immediately move to the next number or increase it. I'm going to ask, how many times will 28 divide into 98? This is not the time to waste your life away. Take a guess. It's either going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. There are no other options. So take a guess, figure it out. What's the worst that could happen? You get it wrong and you try again. So I know 28 is close to 30, so 30, 60, 90. So I think it might fit 3. So what I'm going to do is take a guess. I'm going to say, I think it'll be 3. So I'm going to work it out and see if it is. So 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. So 84. Can I fit another 28? No. So I guessed right, 3. So I'm going to move on with my life. So 28 will divide into 98 3 times. It's important that you write it over the 8 on 98 since that's what it divides into. Second step. We're going to multiply. So we're going to take 28 times 3. And luckily, I already did the work here. So I know 28 times 3 is 84. Again, I'm putting this under the 98. Third step, I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 84 from 98. I'm ignoring this 3 over here. It doesn't exist. So 8 minus 4 is 4. 9 minus 8 is 1, so I have 14. Fourth step, bring down numbers if you have them. I have a 3 that I should bring down. So now I have 143. What am I going to do now? I'm basically going to repeat or go back to 1. So I'm going to divide again. I'm going to ask, how many times will 28 divide into 143? Again, this is not time to waste your life away. Take a guess and move on. So let's see, 28 is close to 30. So 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Oh, probably too much. So maybe 4. Let's try 4. So we're going to try 28 times 4. And if it doesn't work, we're not going to cry about it, and we're just going to, guess again. Well, we might cry because math is so exciting, you might want to cry. But anyways, 4 times 8 is 32. Write your 2, carry your 3. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. I feel like I made a mistake. Let's see. 4 times 8, 32. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, maybe I can fit another because it seems a little small. So you know what? I'm going to try again. Let's do 28 times 5. After all, I did estimate and I pushed that number up to 30. So even though I think it went over, maybe it really doesn't. Maybe it's super close. 5 times 8, 40. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. Oh, it really is right under. So because I overestimated my number, I thought it wasn't going to fit 5 times. But it does. I just had to keep guessing. So 28 will divide into 143 5 times. I put my answer right above that on the top. Second step, I multiply. 28 times 5. Well, I've already done the work. It's 140. Third step, subtract. 143, take away 140 is 3. Fourth step, bring down. I don't have anything to bring down. So now it's time to write my answer. When we have remainders, you have an option of going the decimal route or fraction route. We're going to go with fractions at the moment. So how do we set up our answer? Because I have a remainder, I'm going to have a mixed number. I'm going to have a whole number, and then I'm going to have a fraction, and the top is going to be what's left over, and the bottom is going to be what you divided by. So, what is my whole number? 28 went into 983 35 whole times. I have leftover, so I'm going to have a fraction right there. So how much was left over? 3 pieces was left over. What was I dividing by? We were dividing by 28. Now, before you say you're finished, you should always ask yourself, is this simplified? How do you know if it's simplified? Well, we ask, do 3 and 28 have any common factors besides 1? 1 goes into everything. Well, the factors of 1 and 3, the factors of 3 are 1 and 3. Besides 1, I'm left with 3. I'm going to ask, will 3 go into 28? No. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 is not divisible by 3, so 28 is not divisible by 3. So, because 3 and 28 have no common factors besides 1, that means this answer is simplified. It is as simple as you can get it because, again, 3 and 28 have no common factors besides 1. So 35 and 3/28 is our answer. So 28 fits into 983 35 whole times and a little bit. Now, I'm going to go over just a random example of what would it look like if you had to simplify your answer. So here's an example of simplifying your answer. So let's say I didn't get 35 and 3/28. Let's say my answer was 35 and 4/28. So I'm going to ask myself, do 4 and 28 have any common factors? Well, they're both even, so I know 2 has to go into both. Is there any larger numbers? We're always looking for the greatest common factor, like the biggest number that will go into both. Well, let's think of the factors of 4. 1, 4, and 2. Let's look at that largest factor, 4. Will 4 go into 28? Yes, it will. It'll go in 7 times. So 4 goes into 4, 4 goes into 28. So 4 is the biggest number that will go into both. But because 4 does go into both, it's not simplified. That means that's not my answer. So we're going to say this is not simplified because 4 and 28 do have common factors besides 1. Everybody shares 1. So what do? Well, you divide the numerator and the denominator, the top and bottom number, by your common factor, preferably the greatest common factor. So what is the greatest common factor of 4 and 28? Well, the largest number that will go into 4 and 28 is 4. So first step, be sure to bring over your whole number. That doesn't change. Next, take your numerator and divide it by your greatest common factor. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 28 divided by 4 is 7. Just verify that your new numbers, 1 and 7, do not have any common factors besides 1. They don't. That means you chose the right number and you are finished. Now let's say your numbers still had a common factor besides 1. All you have to do is divide again and make the number smaller. So 35 and 1/7 is now your simplified answer. I hope this example has helped. If it hasn't, there's lots of information out there. I hope you find what you need. Y'all have a great day.